Well, sorry about this intro. I was trying to just show a few of the things that you can do with the dime squeal. So I'm well aware that there's quite a few tutorials on how to do the dime squeal, and there's plenty of them which are really good. For example, you can check out Ola's video, which I found it very useful and helpful. The reason why I decided to do another one of these was because I think that there's some parts, little nuances and little details in the technique which you need to know and pay attention to if you want to execute this technique well and clean. And also I figured that it would be nice to give you sort of a guide on how to build up the technique. So instead of just play it or try to play it right away, I think there's a good like step-by-step way of doing it and learning it. So let's see how that would go. So first I'm gonna summarize the whole technique, and then I'm gonna dissect it and give you some ideas on how to explore and how to execute the technique well. Most of the time, Dime used to do these very high squeals on the G string. It's actually the easiest to do those very high pitches. So let's just stick to the G string for now, because it's also very easy to learn on that. And then you can explore on other strings as well. The whole thing would look like this. If we're this direction with the bar, like the regular direction, first you have to push down the bar, making all the strings loose. And then with the left hand, with the index finger, I flick the G string and then hit the note which I'm trying to make a squeal out of. So this particular case, I'm gonna do that over the 5th fret. Lower the bar, and with the middle finger, I just touch the G string over the 5th fret and let the bar stretch the strings back to their original place. And then you can do the rest with the bar or whatever. If you do the other direction, which to me is easier, especially with these kind of extreme shapes, because then you can put your hand here and just work against it. It just makes things easier. Everything goes the other direction. So instead of pushing it down, now we're pulling it up to loosen the strings and do the whole thing. Now let's talk about how to dissect the whole thing. First, I would probably only do the lowering part with the fingers, which if I use this direction, I usually use these 3 fingers, mainly these 2, to put the strength on it and push it down. Or if I pull it, I use these 3 so I can grab it. Another very important part and little detail about executing this technique would be the muting. So you have to make sure that when you come back and after you do the flicking, all the other strings are muted. So as you can see, my index finger after the flicking goes over the B and the E string, while my thumb is over those lower strings on the D, A and E strings. Instead of I flick the G string, and as you can hear, other strings also resonate and vibrate and make sound, which you want to avoid if you're making a harmonic. Muting is essential here. Let's just get used to this one. This is the lowering part and the pulling it back, or just letting it coming back. So once you push it down, then you flick the G string. So just practice this first. Maybe both directions. Even later, the phrasing part, the vibrato, you can practice with just one open string, or maybe using a harmonic there, so that you have a better control over the phrasing itself, which is another very key element if you want to play it really nicely. And then on the way up, you can hit with the middle finger the harmonic that you're aiming for. Just very slowly first. You can also hear the flicking and the open string. And on the way back, just hit it. And once you got this one down with the mutings and everything, you can make that transition from the index finger to the middle finger faster, so that you don't really hear it. And then of course you can stop work over other frets, for example the 7th is another easy one, the 12th, 3rd is a little tougher, and then when you go higher it's getting just harder and harder. Also, just a quick tip, if you're using a wah pedal and you turn it on and push it down all the way to the upper position, it helps pushing those high frequencies and they will last longer. They have a longer sustain. Giant help that Dime used to do a lot. And then pretty much you're done. Thank you very much for checking in. I hope that you find this video and tutorial useful and helpful. If you have any questions or suggestions, just feel free to leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified about future videos. Also, I got a Patreon site, so if you want to support me in this journey or get the tabs and other exclusive contents, just click on the link below. Thanks again, and I wish you a lovely day. Ciao.